There's Hopis and Navajos and Luiseños and Cahuillas and Kumeyays and Cherokees and Dakota and Hoopa, Lumbis.
Culture is a big component. We feel that culture, knowing who you are, is a base for knowing where you're going to go, understanding what's important to you, understanding your family, and just overall well-being of self-esteem and a base for everybody, and especially for a tribe.
Yeah.
Just in general respect towards the elders that they practice on a daily basis, the language, some families integrated into the household, taking their families to different gatherings, and having their families participate.
We sweat it, we beat it, did leather work. We pretty much stuck together.
To me, it becomes a very strong spiritual strength that comes in beside me and says, hey, it's good to be like this, it's great.
Because Indians are from India. Well, it's better than savage.
They treat us like crap. They don't respect us. They make us cut our hair and say we got to look like everybody else. So yeah, there's the times I do get mad at them. You know, I'm not prejudiced, but they can make a person prejudiced.
One time, the anger that we had inside because we were oppressed people, you get over that, and then later on you start saying, hey, we're better than they are. And you know what? When you find out the real truth about what it is to be an Indian, you know what? It gives you pride.
It's like, how can you take ownership of a people? A people are a people.
They're actually interested in you now. And you know what? They found the true story that, you know what? We weren't the bad people. We were the good people. And you know what? If they would have followed our way of life, to me, man, a lot of things would have been a lot better.
I mean, I've met Indians from all over, and they're pretty much basically all think the same.
Do you know what repository is?
Do I know what it is?
Yeah.
No, explain it to me.
It's like Native American artifacts they're not available to the public, but they're in chambers for just certain people that can go see it.
I thought that they shouldn't have all of that. I thought it should be in a reservation, in a glass, have our own museum where it belongs. Each tribe, each culture.
Here's oil, have natural oils on them, that in a sense can hurt the object over time. So you normally either want to use cotton or latex gloves.
It seems sterile. It seems like they're just, it's a place, a dumping ground. I guess what's important to that, who has control over that? Who has control over that, and who is saying who has access, who does it belong to? Those issues, right? I think those issues are the issues of the power structure.
That, you know, once you do get artifacts that have been uncovered, you have to find out where they came from. Try to find out exactly what family possesses them, because a lot of that, you know, in itself should have been buried, should stay buried, and maybe it should go to the right areas where they're at. But in other ways, I think as long as it's part of the tribe, it should be on their reservation, and there should be museums.
Just the fact that we have to fight and struggle just to preserve human remains of our ancestors. Just the fact that we have to struggle to do that, that's an issue. It shouldn't be an issue.
The museum doesn't own, in a sense, we lease from the city. We're tenants in this building. The city of San Diego is responsible for the building itself. And so sometimes there's challenges of working with the city.
So you feel like it's wrong, to
Well,
have
yeah.
to have this
When it should be, in a place like this,
Like here
on
at
the reservation, yes.
Right now, we've already had grant writings for a museum out here in San Pasqual Indian Reservation, which, to me, any artifacts that are out there, I would love to take the possessions of them, because those are our people, those are our ancestors. And when we see of the beauty of the work that they used to do and what it meant, there's just so much knowledge right there. And once you see that, it kind of opens the heart, opens the mind, and makes you a better land-based person, because those are the pieces we need to know who we are and to go for it.
The public is more than welcome to come see the repository. We also have a large number of Native Americans that do come from all over the country. A lot of times just stop in, they'll ask to see a curator, and most often, if we're there, and they're welcome to it.
What do you think, or what runs through your mind when you hear the word Native American?
What comes to my mind about Native Americans? Well, basically it's the people that were here first. Native is kind of what is native, because they also immigrated from probably Europe as well, and so Native American is the term that's used for the people who migrated here first, the first migration, and as far as the second migration, obviously, was the Europeans. They consider them the Native Americans.
I think like an Indian headdress and dancing and just, I don't know, most of the stuff what I see in the history books, because that's the way I prefer to remember it.
Well, original inhabitants of the United States.
Indigenous Americans, residents of North America, pre-Columbian.
If I'm here on the reservation, I feel comfortable with the term Indian. If I'm outside of the reservation, I usually would prefer to use other terminology, Native American, or just Native in general.
Insult, because it was just a brand name they gave us, but it's supposed to be human beings, not Indians.
Have you ever experienced racism or felt other people judging you based on the color of your skin?
Every day. Every day. But that's an obstacle that we have to learn to overcome, and I think you have to be with who and what you are, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
Because I went to all Indian schools in North Carolina, and there were black schools, white schools, and Indian schools. And people would say things to us all the time, and we'd say things to them, but you just grow up and you just don't be letting it victimize. I see more racism actually sometimes between tribes, between Indians themselves. And I've experienced racism from Indians too, from other tribes, because one tribe thinks they're better than other tribes, or they're more Indian than other Indians. I think racism is everywhere you look.
Basically, we have a lot of young folks out here right now that are pretty much grew up here on the reservation, went out and got a lot of their education.
I work in the nutrition department of the Indian Health Council's community health department.
I work here at Indian Health Council.
With college education, and come out and started their own cultural centers, their own education centers, and basically try to let the young people out here know that it's okay to be Indian these days. And as a matter of fact, it's really proud to be an Indian.
Strength, proudness, And integrity.
Well, we try to teach them while they're young, you know, because that's when most of the stuff sticks to them.
Once I had an elder that says you're never too old to learn. So I'm still learning. I'm learning with you guys just being here, I'm learning.
Because you're our future leaders. That's where it starts. You're going to be leading us all someday.